So, question about the Bucks. Brandon, we'll start with you. Would the game become easier for freak time if Dame becomes the leading scorer on this squad?
I think them having a year under their belt last year, going through everything they had to go through, they got all that out. Hopefully we stay healthy this year. We still don't have Chris Middleton. But if those two can just gel and get it going, I think we'll be all right. I think we're going to be under the radar, though, this year. Just cruising.
Cruising?
Sean, I see your face.
Yeah.
Do you agree with what Mr. B said? Or?
I didn't hear him say cooked in there. He didn't say we cooked. I'm just waiting on we cooked.
Who cooked?
We are cooked.
No, them Knicks is cooked.
We are cooked.
Them Knicks is cooked.
You're having a cook-off?
Can you just bear with me? Can you imagine?
Both of y'all teams cooked over there.
Can you imagine the Sixers last night with Paul George and Embiid?
Well, imagine.
Let's just,
we could imagine. It ain't gonna happen.
Imagine that, right?
It ain't gonna happen.
It's only an imaginary world where the next time they face each other, they might have those other two guys on the floor, right?
Well, hopefully it's not a back-to-back.
Now, we put those other two guys on the floor.
So he'll pick that game.
I'm sure they won't.
We put those other two guys on the floor. That game is way different.
If you take Dame and Giannis off the court and let those two teams play without the...
Philly kills them. Kills them.
They still need Middleton or somebody, right? They got Tyrese Maxey. They still need... I'm saying the Bucks.
but let's just talk about the facts.
The Bucks got nothing outside of them two. Even you look at Portis and Lopez, they not contributors to the maximum capacity where they can be starters and give them 20 shots a game.
Oh, okay. We don't need that much to get through the East.
If you don't have them two, you do.
We don't need that much to get through the East. Trust me. You just worry about your team. Just worry about them Knicks. Every year you got somebody new.
You should have somebody new.
No.
You should.
Stay with your Knicks.
You should.
Cat.
Feeling a mid-off coming?
I'm watching it.
It don't look.
And to be honest, Dame is hitting the shots. They're easy shots for him. But I didn't see anything that has to do with the two of them. Right? Dame's pick and rolls and his pick and roll 3-shot is coming from still Lopez, right? That's still who he's doing the pick and roll with. And then you got Giannis by himself doing what he do, right? They rarely came together where they did a pick and roll with them two. Now, what happens in the last 5 minutes is gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be Giannis somewhere, Dame's trying to do the pick and roll with him and Lopez. And then if they don't have anything, then they gotta go find Giannis. Giannis gotta do his thing, right? You gotta go back, you two gotta go back old school. Yep. You gotta go Utah.
Yep.
Right, you got to go Steve Nash and Amari, right? You got to, if it wasn't in Magic Hand, it was in Kareem. You got to play together. Like, y'all got to figure out how to do pick and roll together because in the last 5 minutes, you're going to need each other so you're unstoppable. There's a reason for 20 years Utah did the same pick and roll. They didn't change the pick and roll because with the two of them doing the pick and roll, it becomes an unstoppable pick and roll. You can't hard show it. You can't go under. You can't down it, right? You can't trap it. You can't switch it because the two of them are in it, right? If they switch to pick and roll with Dame, now you want to go ISO and do all this. If they trap it, throw it to Lopez. It's not Giannis. That pick and roll with Giannis, how they go? They're gonna sag. They're gonna trap it with Giannis now bounce pass with nobody on him. Now you gotta figure out that. That is the most important thing. This year, trying to figure out the pick and roll between you two. Dame and Lopez, we get it. He's done had that his whole career.
Yeah, he know how to
play with that type of guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask y'all this: have they went away from the strong side pick and roll with the corner field? Remember how the corner field pick and roll used to always work with the big lifted? Swing, you got the pass from the big to the big. Mm-hmm. That's always good in the pick and roll. But also, if you got a good point guard turning the corner on the side pick and roll with the corner field, he's rolling up. That low guy got to take the roll, contact, all that. It's gone. But that wasn't an unstoppable play.
Yeah, because back then,
Chris Middleton too.
Those guys rolled.
Every time.
Those guys roll.
Time.
So, the fact that everyone pops back, everyone pops back is kind of pointless now, and everyone switches, right? Because
So they would switch that.
yeah, so they're switching now. So instead of me doing a pick and roll, then the bottom guy try to catch Amari, and you caught him?
Yeah, and then he's open on the side.
Hit the guy that's
So they
filling up.
switching everything. They're switching everything.
Yeah.
And you can't down it. You
can't down-
down it because he popping. It's a shooter, not just gonna put a shooter in the position. If Carl Anthony Towns
Yeah,
shooting and you
yeah.
down it,
You could play 2-1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it get tricky, but
Yeah, so switching it just cuts out all the
like
motion.
when you playing certain bigs, you can still play it that
You
way.
can still play it, right? Because it's going to be a switch.
like
if they
with
switch it.
Minnesota.
Yeah, because of Rudy.
Damn right.
But so the problem he's never in
anytime
pick and
him
roll.
and that, anytime he and that
Drummond?
joint- Drummond.
Philly can too.
Yeah,
Drummond.
Philly can too.
But I'm saying anytime if I'm in any if I'm putting together a game plan with Rudy Gobert, if he's in the game setting any pick and roll, like anytime, I don't care who it is, I'm trapping.
Trapping it.
But when you got to.
I'm
trapping. Throw to
making
Rudy.
you throw him the ball I'm down in the side pick and roll still. I'm going back to old school principles. You're gonna have to throw the ball to him.
Yeah.
Make him be the new
He
point
gonna
guard.
have to be the playmaker out here.
So that would mean that the wings would deny, right?
Yeah, you just
And that
make Rudy
force-
become the point guard.
make
Let him dribble
become-
and just try to start making decisions.
Yeah,
So
he
we
gonna have
say-
to.
Yeah, he ain't Jokic.
Not at all. So
With the Bucks, right? So we say with the Bucks, with the way Dame just played, right? I like the way he played. He was aggressive.
Yeah, him, I'm fine.
Very
with.
aggressive, right? So you say Dame in the pick and roll side, corner field, coming off that, they have to make a decision, like you said. They trap it. What do they do? You can advance the ball if they trap it. Swing it ahead,
To Lopez.
right? To Lopez. Now y'all in trouble because it's 4-on-5 on the backside. But let's just say they hard show, which they don't do in the league at all. So to take that out, they drop it. Drop show on the backside, right? So that means that when he does roll, if he does roll hard, that guy has to make a decision on the drop. If the screen is really set, y'all dead. Because Dame is coming off shooting this thing just like he was, right?
The
You can
only
run that
team-
with Chris Middleton too.
And you can run it with Chris, but Chris
What, the
is in
pick
the
and roll?
corner.
Yeah,
Chris
that's
in
what
the
I'm saying.
corner.
He gonna
curl
yeah,
up.
That's the only way I would run that though.
That's
If-
the
if-
only
if-
way-
yeah,
that's the
if
only
he's
reason.
not there, we can't run.
I wouldn't run it with
Yeah.
the Bucks at all unless
If
that
it's not those
scenario.
three, yeah.
Those three, Chris, Dame,
Yeah.
Giannis roll hard to the
Yep.
basket.
And then
They
it's-
can't stop it.
Oh, it's on. Then, yeah, then it's on.
It's its own. Doc,
But-
what are we doing? They can't stop that.
But-
and who's the other shooter in the weak side? Bobby? Connaughton?
So you can but it's either you can do
Backdoor.
1-2 pick and roll over here with a pin down, a double pin down for Middleton coming off.
Yep.
Right. And you know that's automatically come curl at the end
yes.
with Lopez popping for the three. Like you can't stop
These
that.
are all actions.
If you're doing 3-man game, then it's you pick and roll with Middleton floating up with Lopez right there. Like
You could,
the only team
you
that
could switch all three of them. To
All three, I put them in all different. Bro, you could do pick and roll with Middleton. Yeah.
the only team that still runs.
Dame in the corner.
Put Dame in the corner. But Giannis on the ball.
I
That's
dare you.
great.
Now that's a hard
That's
one.
I
nasty.
dare you help.
Yep.
Hey, just take turns.
Right?
Wow.
Put Dame over there.
Yep. Middleton with the pick
Put
and roll.
Middleton with the ball. Have Giannis
Giannis
set
come-
it.
Oh, that's nasty.
You
The
gotta
only-
make a decision.
The only team
nasty.
that still does it, Denver.
Denver, yeah, for sure.
Denver's the only team that still plays the old style. So you can't, because now when you're switching on to Jokic.
Yep.
Right? Right?
Bad matchup, wherever it is.
Yeah, you're switching on to Jokic. So now that's why someone like Murray always has these open shots.
Yep.
Because the two best players is always in it. And it's
Always
like,
in action.
your two best offensive players doesn't mean it's the two defensive players
Facts.
guarding it.
Facts. That's where you stuck.
You know what I mean? And that's where it's messed up at.
They also got Gary Trent Jr., obviously, Kenyon, we talked about earlier this week, but started in place of Middleton, played 34 minutes, had 11 points, 2 for 5 from 3, but
Okay.
just another shoot option. Let's go back to Dame. 38 minutes last season. Doc had some interesting comments about him and his conditioning after the trade coming into the Bucks. Obviously, Dame was trying to force his way out of Portland. Probably didn't work out as much as he needed to, just trying to stay healthy to get that trade executed. But do we expect a new look, different Dame now that he's got a year under his belt in Milwaukee, not dealing with a lot of the off-the-court stuff that he was dealing with last season that he obviously shed light on, just to come out here, hoop, play ball, and try and get these Bucks back into title contention?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Dame is the issue. I think it's just more our health. Like towards the end of the year, we always get hurt or somebody's going down. So I think the main thing is just trying to get healthy, and we need to figure out what we're going to do with Chris Middleton.
In terms of
In terms of,
what are you going to do with him? Is he going to be on your team, what you're going to do with him? Or?
yeah, that.
Okay,
Yeah,
just making
He's
sure.
gonna be healthy enough because we got to figure this out with Dame and Giannis. because they're on the clock. So
Did hear Giannis' comments earlier this season about, if they didn't win the chip, he could possibly get traded. Like we mentioned, he might have been joking, might not. We'll see. But Brandon, you and Kenya made a gentleman's wager between the Bucks and Sixers and who would have a better season, with the loser having to buy the winner dinner at Nobu. So, Brandon, I'm going to ask you first, who will be paying for that dinner at Nobu at the end of the season, you or Kenya?
brother knowledge. Brother knowledge.
Brother, no.
Brother knowledge, for sure. For sure.
B.
Can you agree or disagree? Obviously, Sixers going through situations. No
yeah,
PG, no Embiid.
It's just the first game of the season, man.
81 more to
They
go.
still struggling.
Yeah, man.
Y'all still.
That Philly gonna be,
Once they get going, it's gonna be downhill.
They actually, I like the way Philly looked last night, despite
because that's technically
the way the
all
game
role
looked.
players just trying to figure out. Like that's the only thing that's gonna help Philly. That is like all the players that will just sit and watch. They're figuring out their game. They're getting their confidence up.
Yep.
They definitely have role players.
And their two best players, Philly's two best players, they know how to do the pick and roll together.
Absolutely.
Right? Now they just added a whole nother person that just plays one-on-one. He can do whatever he wants.
Hit shots.
And your two best players don't know how to play with each other yet. Or so far. It's not like they don't know how. They're not playing with each other, in a sense. Like, if I'm Doc, right, I have my regular offense, then I have you two. Right? And every day in practice, we're just gonna run a whole bunch of sets.
Yep.
That's you two pick and roll.
Outside.
We just gotta we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure out how it's guarded. Right? All through preseason.
Yep.
I would have said, hey man, look, I'm not gonna play you right now. Y'all just relax. You two and a whole bunch of role players that's trying to
working
make
on
this
something.
team.
Yeah, let's work
We're just
on
gonna do pick and roll the whole for just you two. We're gonna mix it. You
Different
dribble,
angles,
you
corner.
Yeah.
There's all angles.
Angles. Yeah.
Roll.
Yeah.
That 5 out.
Roll.
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 5 out. I used to love that.
Roll,
5 out.
nigga.
Yeah.
Both.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Sixers, Kenya.
Go to O's, man. I just want. Never mind.
What happened?
I just think the way, man, listen, Giannis is, I get it. He's athletic as shit. And he's also taller, stronger than a lot of people that he's playing against.
Mm-hmm.
And I just still see, like, you can still run the actions to get him the ball on the block. Because who's stopping it?
He don't need a.
Who's stopping a jump hook from him?
Yes, but
Nobody.
But do you even need the jump hook? Like, think about it. You post him up down there, he turns and face. You can't touch him now.
Right, you have
Once
to
he turns and face, you can't legally put your hands on him. How do you and jump like
Dribble, man.
Every time.
It's one
do that
dribble,
Greek
left,
freak shit?
One
You know what I mean?
dribble, dunk, one dribble,
It's
right.
uncomfortable because he's too close. He don't get
Do that
to take
Greek-
it.
Do that.
When you that close, you want to do more, but you got to do less, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Like that
'cause I
big.
just look at like
It's all that
He had plays yesterday where he
Saying
was
the same
taking it,
sets
facing
we
up
run
and
for the free
going
throw.
right to the thing, and
on
then
the elbow,
free throw
on the
line.
elbow. They
He
let
was
him
at the
go left.
elbow. Yeah,
What
that's
about a
the
free throw
elbow.
elbow?
But he had
Who's at the
enough
elbow?
space to get there.
Who's at the
If
elbow?
He's closer. He ain't got that space.
And if somebody guarding him with the foot speed to
Bump
stay
him,
in front
stand
of
him
him,
up.
that's a difference.
At the free throw line.
Yeah.
That's what I said. You put him at the same thing. Same concept.
Just-
Put you at the block, turn and face.
Because you run the action, man, where it's like you run the same pick and rolls we speak of to a cross screen. You get him on the block, run the double away. As soon as you throw it to him, you screen away.
Yo,
Now
that's
can't
it.
Nobody help.
That's the screen for the guard screen away for the big on the block.
And
They
then
got to
come up-
switch. Rock up
But you
America's
running the
play.
pick and roll.
Bro, that's the easy.
What is that
I'm
called?
saying you running
America's play.
I'm saying you
It's
running the
America's play.
side pick and
Cross.
roll. You running the side pick and roll, whatever it is, to a cross screen, and it's dude.
For the big to come off the, after he rolls to the other side of the block because he's getting the screen. Man, them plays used to be so hard to guard, man. You get stuck on Kenyon or Nene or, man,
yeah,
stop it.
Because it's the guard now. Because
gotta
if you don't bump him,
Gotta
right,
switch.
then you got to bump my guy. You know, just,
And
he
he
coming in with
mad.
the elbows like, nah.
Him catching the ball on the move, being able to boom, boom.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't. Wait them buff shoulder sit out here. One bump, you're done.
Yeah.
He don't even need the second bump. He come and bump you to a spin on the move. Good luck.
And he got the growl. He growling too. He want to get there.
Shoulder
He growling. You can't stop no monster like that.
But we know the difference between